Well, good evening, folks, and welcome into another edition of This Week in Pearl. We've got an excellent show lined up for you tonight. We're going to hear from Mayor Jake Windham, who is not only filed for re-election here in the city, but all of our elected officials will be up for election this coming spring. Then we'll go in the Capitol, and we're going to hear from Representative Newman, who's got some important information about the vaccine program that's going on here in the state. Then we're going to talk about something cool that's going on around town, as this Saturday there will be a Miracle Maddie 5K. You're going to want to stick around and find out what that is all about. And then we'll wrap things up with a very interesting new addition over in the lobby at City Hall, a place where you can take your American flag to be retired. Again, stick around. You want to find out the details on that. All that and more coming up next on This Week in Pearl.
Hello, I'm Mayor Windham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl to enjoy a Mississippi Braves baseball game or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
Welcome back to This Week in Pearl. We're going to get things started off by bringing in the head honcho. He's known as Pearl One to all of us around here, and it is Mayor Jake Windham, who has officially decided he's going to run for another term here in the city. Mayor, welcome in.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it. I don't require anybody to say Pearl One, by the way. But
I enjoy it. It's
cool. Greg has he's trademarked that for me.
But talk about the decision to run again, because you've got some unfinished business.
I do. There's a lot of projects, and we've tried to push that out. And recently sent out a progress report, and then I'm trying to do that on social media just to show how much progress we've made in the last 3.5 years. And it's really hard to ever leave something uncompleted. I'm the type of man that once I put my hand to the plow, I need to see it through. And I think that we've done a good job. I mean, there's going to be somebody out there that might be upset about something, but I really can say this: there's been a lot of work done. One thing that I'm most proud of, outside of all these special projects and the 800 houses that are being built in the city, is the city's financial situation. So we've made a 180 on that, and so it's just so great. And just some recent information that everybody don't know. I just received this information after having a meeting with Moody's. So like when I came into office, we had a negative outlook from a financial standpoint. Just this week, it was released yesterday that Moody's gave us a positive outlook. Why that is so huge is usually they'll go from a negative to a stable, then to a positive. But since we've made such a big turn in our internal accounting procedures and our fund balance, and we're going in the right direction, they actually given us a positive outlook at this time. So when you have all those things going on, and you see that your city's hitting record sales tax revenues, ranking number 2 in the state throughout COVID, I'm just gonna go ahead and put on my campaign hat and get after it. If I draw an opponent, I'm gonna go and campaign just like I did last time. Go see our people, and I try to see a lot of people as it is, but just go door to door, grassroots. That's what we're all about. And
well, what's been when you had visions of becoming the mayor, back in 2017, and you ran, what has been the real biggest eye opener or biggest difference that you didn't think you'd see once you became mayor? Is it just the patience of waiting on government projects, or? Because I know you've talked about that in the past a little bit.
Yeah, so government projects are something that, for me, a little bit of an impatient guy, because I think, hey, let's do the work, let's push hard. The harder we push, the further we can go. And sometimes it doesn't happen like that, especially with bureaucracy and things of that nature. So it's a teaching tool for me to understand, to gauge myself going into those projects. I want to make sure that I have the right amount of enthusiasm and also the planning mechanism that you want to put in play and the tenacity to handle the project. However, you do tend to grow some patience and understand there's processes that have to go into play from a governmental standpoint that can bog them down. So that's one thing. I've learned that, and I've learned to understand that more so we can set expectations for our citizens. I think I talk about that a lot with department heads, and also you've been witness to it as our public information officer, is setting expectations. You don't tell people something and then you don't follow through. I think that's the biggest thing in government a lot of times, that there's so many promises this, promises that, and then you don't follow through. People want somebody's going to deliver. And I try to pride myself on making sure that I do deliver. And I learned that as a young man being a detective at the Pearl Police Department. A lot of times cases would come in and I would say, I'm going to solve this case. Of course, young rookie detective think you can save the world. After a bit of time, I changed it from I'm going to solve this case, so I'm going to do everything I can to gather as much evidence and make sure I can bring this case about. So
that's just wisdom.
It's wisdom. It's just time. So those things, yeah, Greg, that and understanding the ins and outs. The city never sleeps. That term is so appropriate, even for a city like Pearl with 27,000 people. There's always things going on, whether people realize it or not. When you're in bed, there's water crews out, there's police out, there's firefighters still working in the middle of the night, and there's a lot of working parts within the city that I did not realize prior to being elected, but I'm into now.
Well, you are a guy that likes to get things done, and I think the folks will look at. We've got some video of it for you to see. Is the project that's getting ready on the West Rankin Parkway, and you can see they're tearing up the intersection at Highway 80 and Pearson Road, getting that ready, aren't they?
Yeah. So let me go back to managing expectations for just a minute. We originally, MDOT was going to allow us to start on that project last fall, a year ago last fall. And then that was placed on hold because they said, hold on, we want to wait till good construction time in the spring. Well, then COVID hit, and that changed it because you had construction crews that had
COVID.
COVID. So anyway, that project started out with 2 claims of litigation on it. So during that time working with MDOT, I worked with Rankin County delegation, sat in rooms with Dick Hall when he was still the Transportation Commissioner for the Central District, and we were able to push those things through to get the litigation off with no cost to the city. So not enough that you get the litigation off of it that's been on it for several years, then you got to go into the mode of, hey, look, get litigation off is great, but let's build the road, right? Let's get the road.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, it was delayed because MDOT felt like it was more prudent to start in the spring, and then COVID hit. And so we're getting it down the road now. Of course, I think people can see that there's a lot of movement over there. They're tearing up some of the island intersection.
Oh, they can see it now with that crashing it open.
So it does my heart good. A lot of times, and I'll explain to our citizens, that being a mayor, sometimes I just have to drive around the city and look at the projects because you feel like, man, are we moving? Are we going in the right direction? But I go lay eyes on projects and look at them and say, yeah, that's going in the right direction and things like that. So many times, and it's not my actual hands, but it's thought process and intellectual might that you're working through these projects, having meetings every day. And when you see them start coming out of the ground, for me, it's an opportunity for our citizens to hold their chest up high, stick their chest out, head up high, and walk around. I'm proud. Look, our city's coming along. And that's very important to me for our people to be proud of our city. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's really my goal, is to make something good better and make something better to be the best.
Well, the city has done a great new investment that we want to talk about to make citizens feel proud, to make them feel engaged and to know, and we're going to talk about that now. It's a new texting service that we have where you can get important information about the city. And I know you have the first one there. It is if you take your cell phone and you simply text the word Pearl to 91896, that's going to allow you to get us in our database, and we're going to be able to send you important emergency alerts or just important things that you need to know about the city. And I know you're very excited about being able to reach the population that way.
I am very excited about that. One of the things that I think is so user-friendly, if you're going down the road and say that you see a pothole and you text it to this number and you have pothole located at such and such. Sure, we do have work order system. We have a new work order system that is robust and it's doing well for our public works guys. However, it's instant, and it's a lot of times for me, it's capturing the information from our citizens right there in the moment. Mm-hmm. Whether it be a water leak or something else, or a major event within the city, jobs or trash in a certain area on a median, it's just going to be really a tool that feeds back to the different departments of the city, and you have instant access, and our folks are going to be able to say, oh, we got this coming in, let's address it immediately. So again, it goes back to doing things bigger, faster, better, and more efficiently to take care of our citizens. And when you feel like that you're connected and things get done, then it goes a long way if you're government. And that's what you want to do. You want to be responding well and doing the things that your citizens expect out of the tax dollars that they pay each day.
Yeah. We have two options for you. One is that first one where you can text the word Pearl to that 91896, and you're going to get alerts from the city where we're going to be talking to you. And just this week when we had to change the testing of our warning sirens from Monday to Tuesday, we're able to put that out to those that have opted in so far, and you'll get a text message, so you don't freak out at noon on Tuesday. Why are the sirens going off? Right. It's because we skipped it on Monday. The other thing that the mayor was just alluding to, again, you're going to be able to report issues. You can then text us and talk with us. So this is a two-way communication tool, and it's very simple for you to get started. You text the word hi to 601-706-3177. Once you have that in your phone, you can save it, and you can save it as City of Pearl, and you can text us all the time. And there, you could simply type in what you want to find out, a question, an answer to one of your questions, or as the mayor said, if you want to report things like pothole, water bill, how do I pay my water bill? It'll take you right to pay your water bill online. If you see a water leak, things like that. So very, very cool technology, a chance where you can talk to us and then we can talk to you. So I thought it was very important when you gave us the marching orders is to make sure that it can be citizen engagement, that it's not just one-way communication, because you want to hear from the residents.
Yeah. I hold to the fact that they're the chief stockholders. If it wasn't for our citizens and the tax they pay each and every day, and as city employees, we're indebted to them to make sure that we provide a good product. This is us just honing our product and giving them another opportunity to live in a community that responds to them, a city government that responds to them day in and day out. And for me, that's just like a business that I might frequent or anything else. It's all about customer service. It's being taken care of. And that goes a long way when in the everyday life of a citizen, when you have family things going on, you have work, and then they want to get in touch with the city, this is an easy way to do it.
Okay. Well, Mayor, thank you for taking the time. I know you're busy not only with what's going on here in the city, day-to-day business, but now we got a campaign. As you said, you're unopposed right now. We'll wait and see how that goes. The filing deadline will be tomorrow at 5 p.m., Friday at 5 p.m. Is that correct?
That's correct.
For city offices. So we'll be able to provide you a complete list to the public on our website and here on the show of all the candidates that are going to be running in the upcoming municipal election. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate you having me.
All right, when we come back, we're going to go under the dome and bring in Representative G. Newman to talk about what's going on over at the state legislature.
WPBP and PMB TV would like to thank our latest sponsor, Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts is located at 403 Riverwind Drive. With over 32 different types of donuts, they can take care of your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can now choose from their menu of sandwiches, wraps, and muffins. And don't forget the drinks. Along with coffee, espressos, and lattes for your morning drive, they also have soft drinks, cold brew coffees, and smoothies. The Pearl Pirates run on Dunkin' Donuts.
Welcome back to This Week in Pearl. We're now going to head under the dome and talk about what's going on over at the Capitol. And for that, we're going to bring in our representative, the distinguished gentleman from Pearl, Mr. Gene Newman. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you doing?
Outstanding for a new year. We're trying to put this 2020 thing behind us and all that COVID thing. But that's where I want to start with you,
Okay.
Over at the Capitol. The legislature is back in session.
We are.
It is a little bit different. Life is a little different under COVID. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, we came back into session on the first Tuesday after the first Monday, and we have progressed along following the deadlines that we have. We are finishing up committee week right now. Committee week has been rather strange because we have done it all on Zoom. We had an outbreak of COVID in the Capitol a couple of weeks ago, and in order to get control of it, we went to some serious social distancing. So we voted to allow the House to meet in committees via Zoom, and we have progressed. It was strange. They had some technical difficulties at first, but they overcame those, and we just keep moving forward. Our deadline, committee deadline is tomorrow evening, and when we hit that, Wednesday we'll all be back in the House, back at work regularly like we normally would, except we're still doing a social distancing thing even when we're in regular session, so that some of us are in the galley, some of us are in their offices, some of us are in rooms, different designated committee rooms, so that we're spread out enough so that we're trying to keep from spreading COVID up there.
Now, you are a COVID veteran because you've had it, recovered, hopefully not going to get it again. The reason Dean Kirby is not with us is he is battling his way through, well on his way to recovery. And it's really all going to be contingent on this vaccine and how the vaccinations are going. From your perspective, up there at the legislature, how are the vaccines going?
Well, from what the state of Mississippi is doing, the vaccinations are going great. The Mississippi National Guard and Mississippi Air National Guard has jumped out there, and they've made it work. They've worked with the local hospitals and local health centers and everything else to really provide a lot of vaccinations as fast as they can get them. The issue is they're not getting enough vaccinations. The biggest problem that we've had in the state is not with the state people, it's with part of the deal with the federal government did was they contracted with CVS and Walgreens to provide, particularly into the long-term care nursing homes and places like that, and they simply did not have enough pharmacists to be able to go out and fulfill those, and they have a lot of vaccines that they have not been able to do. They are way behind. I know that the pharmacy board has issued some temporary permits to allow pharmacists to come in from out of state strictly to be able to give these vaccines in order to try to facilitate getting these nursing homes done. And I know there are nursing homes that still haven't gotten vaccinations. Some just got their first ones last week. But that's been the big slowdown, and that's the critical area that we really need to make sure that we get taken care of.
For the general public, though, we know that the high risk, certainly of the nursing homes, have to be the first and foremost because they are our most vulnerable. But when it comes to getting life back to normal for the general population, are you satisfied with the amount of vaccine that's coming into the state from the federal government that's being able to be distributed to your high risk groups right now?
No, I'm not, because I'm not directly in line with it, but this is what I'm told, that we're not getting enough vaccine. I mean, you're set up right over here at Trustmark Park to run 700, 800 people a day, and they're not hitting anywhere near that number because they don't have the vaccines. Anybody who's gone online to try to sign up to be vaccinated knows that
you can't get an appointment. It's not there.
If you're sitting close to a computer when those 15,000 or 25,000 or whatever vaccines they release, and they release it all over the state to all the different places, if you're sitting by a computer and you're fast enough and you can type fast enough, you can get an appointment. It may be in Philadelphia, it may be in DeSoto County. I know there's no telling where it'll be.
Right.
But you got to get the first one you can get your hands on, and you got to go with it. But we're set up to do a lot more. I mean, the governor's talked about it. I mean, we're ready to do the vaccines. Just give us a vaccine.
Yeah.
The problem is they're sending it to other states with a lot more people, and it's not getting used. I don't know why. I don't know what the issue is there. I'm not in that part of the business, but there's an issue. Send it to us. Send it to Mississippi. Mississippi will take care of it. We'll use it.
We'll make sure it gets in the arms of somebody and not just
that is correct.
Sit on a shelf or be defrosting to go nowhere.
Right.
Well, hopefully, everybody's talking maybe by the summer things will get back to, I don't know, 70% of normalcy. Is it that you believe that's
as long as we get there by football season? That's all that matters. As long as when the Pirates take the field in August, that we can all go see football games, we'll be fine.
All right,
Make the important thing the important thing. Pirate football is what it's all about.
Football in the South. All right, a couple other things that I know everybody's interested in this legislative session. There is a proposal by the governor to eliminate the state income tax. Where does that stand?
Well, the governor's kind of adding on. The House has been working on that for like 5 years. We actually, the state actually did away with the 3% bracket about 5 years ago, and it's phased in over 5 years. And and when they were doing that, they had a group come in here with a study, and it showed that the most fair tax, the most equitable tax to everybody is a use tax. If you use it, you pay for it. So that don't matter whether it's a gas tax or whether it's whatever the tax may be, whether it's just a straight sales tax, whatever it is, if you use it, you pay for it. And that's what they said was the most equitable. And so what they have to do is to be able to, if you're going to do away with the sales tax, you have to be able to replace the tax that you're losing. The income tax makes up a third of the budget. That's about $1.5 billion right now. And you can't just do away with that. You can't just say, well, we're going to cut spending like that, because then you're eliminating just about everything. So you want to talk about people screaming, there'd be a whole lot of people screaming, because you'd be cutting pretty much everything. So what we're working on specifically right this second is the next bracket up is a 4% bracket. It'll cost somewhere between $170 to $250 million, depending on which one of those economic people you talk to. But so we feel like we can do enough cuts, tweaks, and maybe do enough small adjustments that we can get that bracket out of the way, and then come up with a long-term plan to replace the taxes that we would lose doing away with income tax. One of the things people say is, well, Tennessee and Florida and Texas don't have, they don't have income tax. How did they do it? Well, they said, and their sales tax is about like ours. It is, but they put sales tax on everything. I mean, you buy a service, you pay for an attorney, you pay for an accountant, whatever it may be, you're going to pay sales tax on that. Well, we don't have that. So all of that would have to be figured in to be able to do that.
Again, it's one of those things. People like services, and they don't want their services cut. They don't like taxes. They want to see their taxes cut. The problem is they have to somewhere cross in between. That if you eliminate taxes, well, then services got to go away unless you find a way to replenish that. Because, yeah, nobody likes paying taxes, but we also like to have smooth roads. We like to make sure that the lights are working, all those other infrastructure type things. So, it's kind of a catch-22 for you guys.
That's right. You talk about the roads. I wasn't there, but the last legislative session, they put a lottery in, and $80 million of the proceeds, of the first proceeds of the lottery money, goes, as you know, to roads and bridges. Mm-hmm. A lot of people misconstrue that's going to MDOT. That's not going to MDOT. That's going to counties and cities for actual roads and bridges. That's what that's used for. It's not just going into the MDOT never-ending.
Thank goodness.
Never-ending bucket of money, but so it goes. We're trying to resolve some specific issues. I mean, you go out here. Rankin County is wonderful. We have supervisors for a long time who have taken care of the budget. We have municipalities whose budgets have been basically taken care of, and we haven't just let our bridges and roads go to pieces. There are other places where the bridges and the roads are almost gone. I mean, you know, you got school buses going 15 miles around to go around a bridge that's out. That kind of crazy stuff.
Our neighbors just to the west.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different story. But anyway, you know, so you know, we've got that money coming in, and then of course once you get past that 80 million, then the rest of it goes into that school fund. So it's doing better than I ever thought it would do. And every time I go to a convenience store, there's somebody in front of me buying a lottery ticket. So, you know, I guess it is what it is. People want to do that.
I will not confirm or deny that when it was approaching $1 billion, I may have bought a ticket or two. But I'm still sitting here, so obviously I'm not one of the winners. So. Gene, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
And we look forward to having you again, and with your cohort, Senator Kirby there.
Yeah, and if y'all would say a prayer that Senator Kirby completely recovers from COVID-19. And folks, we got a lot of friends and neighbors who are still struggling. We got folks who are still in the hospitals. We got folks who have been really hurt by COVID, and just say prayers for them, and let's all work together to get out of this.
Excellent. That is Representative Gene Newman. We will talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk a little Miracle Maddie and an upcoming 5K right here in Pearl. Stay right here. We'll continue right after this.
Come find your taste buds at the Lost Cajun. Chef Charles is cooking everything to order. Cajun classics like gumbo, jambalaya, and red beans and rice. Pick your po' boy, shrimp, oyster, roast beef, or maybe gator. Proudly serving USDA farm-raised catfish. When you're done, loosen the belt up a bit for some homemade beignets. Dine in, take out, order online, and get it delivered. Reserve our party room for your group. Find your way to the Lost Cajun in Pearl and Byram.
Well, welcome back into This Week in Pearl. We're now going to take a look around town and a very cool event that is coming up this Saturday. And to talk about that, we bring in Miss Emily Wooten, who is the event coordinator. And man, this is just going to be a whole lot of fun. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us. It's going to be a great day this Saturday.
Now, so it's really all centered around one young lady. There's a lot of things going on, and it is for little Maddie Pittman. And I know that her family was unable to be here because Maddie right now is at St. Jude up in Memphis, getting ready for a transplant. She suffers from leukemia, just the sweetest little girl. We'll show you her picture in just a moment. So that's why her parents weren't able to be here. I know Nick really wanted to come down, but it's a little more important as they get her ready for this big procedure. But you had a chance to talk to them, and they had something they wanted to pass along.
They do. I have the story. Kind of want to let y'all know what's going on with Maddie. Her parents, Nick and Amanda Pittman, were still in their honeymoon stages and were about to welcome their second child, Maddie, on April 28, 2020, in the middle of COVID. Little sister, who was 3, Emma Kate, couldn't wait to welcome Maddie home. Nick's career in the oil field from Alaska had afforded them a nice home and a bright future to raise their children. On April 21st, due to historic drop in oil prices, he got the phone call that so many had received, a massive layoff for his entire crew. 7 days later, and despite being suddenly unemployed, he and Amanda felt blessed to welcome little Maddie into the world. Fortunately, Nick was able to find a job 8 weeks later and was proud to be back to work. He began his new job on June 30th. On July 16th, just over 2 weeks later, Amanda got the call that no parent ever wants to receive. Maddie was diagnosed with a rare mix of 2 types of childhood leukemia. COVID restrictions made matters even worse. Like so many others, Amanda had to deal with these things alone. Other family members were forced to see Maddie and Amanda via FaceTime and Skype. And that's still how it is today. Due to Maddie's age, type of leukemia, and other factors, she was considered a very high risk for mortality. At the time of her diagnosis, doctors gave her very little chance of living another 48 hours. It was at this point that Maddie experienced a series of miracles, both small and large. She not only survived the next 48 hours, but the next day, the next week, the next month, and is still to this day fighting for her life. Amanda notes with gratitude, the nurses at St. Jude's did not give Maddie much hope at first, but after she kept refusing to die, they began to call her Miracle Maddie, and the name stuck.
Well, that is an unbelievable story. It just tears your heart out to realize what what a young family has to go through, and certainly in COVID, as you explained there, has made it so much worse.
It's made it so difficult because nobody can be with Maddie except for Amanda, and she's also got to have 24/7 care. So it's been hard, especially on Emma Kate and the whole family.
But, you know, the prognosis looking good. You know, that's the exciting part is, you know, she's about to have a transplant, bone marrow transplant coming up right after this event. And now this is the time where people can, you know, not only raise money for a good cause, but it's just a whole lot of fun. So why don't we talk about the 5K itself?
That's correct. So the 5K is going to be this Saturday, February the 6th at the Clyde Muse Center. The race will begin at 9 a.m. We'll have a 5K race, 5K walk. After that, the kids' fun run will start. We'll also have silent auction items throughout the day. You'll have food trucks and also a blood drive from 10 to 2. So there is plenty of opportunities to come out, have a little fun, and help this family who needs it.
Well, and from what I understand, you know, some of the entertainment people are really going to want to see. These are some local performers. Zach Bridges is going to be out there. Is that right?
Yes, Zach Bridges is actually one of them who's helping me put on this event. This was Zach's idea. Zach wanted to help the family by doing a small little concert, and his small little concert idea has been blown out of the water, and now we have a whole day of event. And also, Zach Bridges was on The Voice. He'll be playing that day along with Burnham Road as well.
The best way to register, we have it up on the screen for you that you've been looking at. You can actually scan that QR code.
You can.
Look at that. We're getting all into the advanced. But if not, you can certainly reach out through the website.
We have on Facebook, there's an event called Miracle Maddie 5K on Facebook. You can reach out there. You can feel free to reach out to myself. Again, I'm Emily Wooten with Sweet Southern Occasions. You can reach out to Zach Bridges with the Zach Bridges Band, Kim Edwards with Southern Home Real Estate, or Mike McIntyre with Witch Witch. So all four of us are helping put on this event.
Awesome. And it's going to get started 9 a.m. on Saturday. Looks like the weather's going to cooperate.
I hope it does. We're praying to the good Lord for good weather.
And then if you can't run or you can't participate in that way, you know, another great way, as you can see also there on the screen, is the blood drive. You know, everybody is certainly able to give, whether the blood actually goes to Maddie, but more importantly, it will go to somebody, and Maddie will get the credit for anybody that donates. And that's even more important because that's an unbelievable cost that you can take off of the shoulders of that family, because blood is so in high demand.
They need it right now. And not just for Maddie, but everybody right now needs the blood.
Well, I think this is going to be an awesome event. I look forward to us being able to see Maddie when she can get out of the hospital and be healthy. And I know that we'd love to have her here as soon as she's able.
We are super excited this event. And once again, it's this Saturday, February the 6th at the Clyde Muse Center. And then, like we said, Maddie is actually going to have a bone marrow transplant 3 days later. So it's just another one of the miracles that are happening with her.
Awesome. Well, Emily, thank you so much for not only coming in, but for organizing this event.
Thank you for having us.
You got it. All right, we'll continue with more This Week in Pearl right after this.
Hello, I'm Mayor Windham, and I'm thrilled to show you the city creating its own future. Pearl is located in Rankin County, the fastest growing county in Mississippi, and there's no question why. Access to great schools, even better shopping, and unbridled beauty make Pearl a town that truly embodies its name. And with a truly exceptional team of first responders, public safety is another key component of our success. With fantastic housing opportunities from quaint suburban neighborhoods to gorgeous lakefront properties, there's a place for you here in Pearl. You can't beat the location. Right outside of Pearl is the crossroads of the South, where Interstate 20 meets Interstate 55. From here you can travel anywhere within the state or the country. Or you can choose to stay right here in Pearl to enjoy a Mississippi Braves baseball game or experience the small town atmosphere, community pride, and heart of the local residents.
All right, well, before we leave you on this week's edition of This Week in Pearl, we want to take you over to City Hall and show you what's in the lobby there right now. And it's a project that was done by William Cole Kelly over of the Boy Scouts. And now this was his Eagle Scout project, and it is a flag retirement box right here for the city of Pearl. Great job done by this young man. And really, what is it? if you have an American flag that's ready to be retired, and we want to make sure that they're done properly and respectfully, you can bring that here to City Hall, put it in the drop box, and the Boy Scouts will be coming over as part of their service and their commitment to honoring the American flag and their Boy Scout organization. They will take those and properly retire them. So if you have a flag, if you know of anybody that has a flag, if you have a business that's looking to replace their flag, bring that by and drop it off in our City Hall, and it will be taken care of. And you can get a look at old William Kelly there, a picture with the mayor, and they, while not social distance, they were wearing masks and they did sanitize when we took that picture. But just a great thing by the young people here in our city, and a great job by Mr. Kelly there. Well, that's going to do it for this week in Pearl. We will talk to you again soon. Until then, remember, folks, every day is a great day to be a pirate in the city of Pearl.